overstepped his boundary in a realm that he's definitely not willing to play in, I would think. Other than that, the reason why, I really keep my foot on these dweebs' neck is because, let me tell you this, for anybody who's in high school or in any position in your life where you feel you might be misunderstood and people start making you the butt of the joke and start trying to bully you, you need to fuck somebody. That's the only way you can stop getting bullied. You got to make an example out of somebody. Somebody got to be the example. And if you never do that, you'll always be the person that people feel is the easy target. In Jamaican terminology, we call it a weak fence. Anybody can just kick that shit down and it's like good to go. So from time to time, you have to make an example. We're making an example. I'm telling you, these media niggas, they don't play with Ak. And by the way, for anybody else who is listening, don't think because I'm picking on two stooges, I won't swing at heavyweights too. These are just two niggas that are easy to body. So what I like to say is that I don't really have an animosity to most people who usually either are neutral or are not like fucking trying to pile on with, sometimes I feel like, the online hate train for me. I don't have no smoke with anybody, but if people do have smoke with me, I will reciprocate. Trust me, all right? So that's one of the reasons why. Anyway, god damn. Trap Mark said that Ruri Run's got his eyes low, man. For real, man. How do you cure that? Because that's the thing. When it get up in your eye, like... Anyway, chat. I feel like I've done this a couple times, but I'm going to do it again. You see, without my platform, I'll be not only the butt of everybody's joke, but the person who any false narratives. By the way, anytime I've ever responded to a media personality, it's because of narratives. I've always told you that. Me and Adam, we went at it. I don't have a problem with Adam, and now we're cool. But at a very important time for me, when people were also trying to paint a narrative, he put out interviews and a lot of stuff that were driving home that narrative, like, yo, Akademiks is some misogynistic, anti-woman type of person. That's very career damaging. Now I can't play nice with you. I got to get at you. And I did. And when I start, I usually don't want to stop. Like, I never want to stop. I want to go for the rest of my life. Ever. I want to go forever. Adam apologized. He acknowledged, his wrongs after a while. But usually that's what it is. Narratives are really important. And they're really important for somebody like me because, in the case of Adam, I said, listen, I ain't white. When you're white, certain type of narratives about you doesn't matter. When you're black, it does. You get me? Like, if you're white and you're a cuck, it's cool. If you're black and a cuck, it's seen as like, yo, you're just like some beta male, like not, it's situations and just dynamics I can't like help. So I have to defend myself when the narrative has me painted wrong. Okay? That's what leads me to, and again, if you're wondering, Ak, man, I fuck with you. I don't really fuck with them other bums, but I'm rounding with you and I like clowning them. But why are we always clowning them? We had two bums, Ruri and Mealy Mall, who, when my name came up, they tried to drive home narratives about me that I was a cokehead. I've never taken truth be told, I've never even smoked. Like, nigga, I've never vaped. I've never done nothing. You know what I mean? We smoke in an invisible Ruri pack, you know what I mean? But I put the Ruri pack in the Henny. Fuck it. I only drink. But at one point, he felt it was necessary. And I'm going to tell you why I need to. Like, you see, for a white boy, he's white. Or a biner, something like that. If he's a cokehead, like, there's a video of G-Eazy doing coke. He don't even got to put out a statement. Like, we assume these white niggas be doing coke. Somebody who's trying to be a voice in culture, like myself, being accused of being a cokehead, and I'm black, and not that liked by certain people, okay, stop playing with me. So he tried to throw out that I was a cokehead. Okay, egregious. He tried to speak on, and this is where I'm going to really start this whole thing. This bum tried to speak on my business acumen. Chat, I want to do a public survey right now. Is it clear to anybody with eyes, ears, and even quarter of a brain that Akademiks business acumen is about 100 times anybody that they have been in vicinity with. All I hear about them is bitching, complaining, not getting enough. Oh, we don't know what's going on. With me, all you keep seeing is foreign cars, mansions, all paid for cash. I want to make it, and I'm going to drive this narrative fucking home. Okay? And by the way, for some people, this is me going into the next portion of my career. I'm not going to be seen like you niggas like some little nigga in a basement. I'm the boss that you niggas can never be. Because the confusions that y'all have, I've never had. So, I remember, and again, I've told the story already. They were critical that they said, they pretty much called me an idiot that I didn't follow Joe Budden blindly to revolt. And I told y'all why. I said, a company doesn't need my services that much if they're hitting up Joe for me. Joe cannot never negotiate for me. I love Joe, but he got a whole different manager. I got people I pay that manage my situations. I got a whole different company that, like, I was rich when I met Joe. I wasn't a bum-ass nigga, homeless, looking like Ruri with holes in his T-shirt. I met the nigga at Joe's house. He was unemployed. Nigga was down to do anything. The nigga might have been down to shine my shoes. So when I seen him speaking of business acumen and me knowing what's really going on, it rubbed me the wrong way, and this is why actually ultimately I'm here. Anyway, I've been telling y'all, the reason why I don't like with those two bum ass niggas, they have never been in the position to talk like how they're talking. Remember, go back to Joe talking about Spotify, Joe talking about Complex. Them niggas were talking like they were bosses themselves. Yeah. Equity. We ain't gonna give Spotify this. Spotify don't even talk to y'all niggas. Spotify don't even care about you niggas. Spotify, like, their name is not even on a contract with Spotify. They only dealt with Joe. So quickly I knew what the dynamic was. They were workers. But of course they wanted to change around the narrative, this and third. I'm going to show you abundantly clear. And by the way, again, I'm first and foremost, I see some people say, oh, ACK is going to be tight their back. Was I not the one who said they're going to come back before the 1st because they have rent to pay? Did I not say that? Don't I get no credit? These are two bums. Mealy Mo been sucking dick from, like, since he was born. He was actually pre-cum. I don't know how he's walking. And then the other nigga, like, come on, bro. Like, I told you, they're going to get back before the 1st. Rent is due on the 1st. They're back. And I'm glad that they're actually back. Okay? Also, I think it's a humbling experience for them. And this is why I feel like the ultimate victory is right here. The ultimate victory is right here. Because they know the shit they were talking before is false. They look stupid. Now, the next time when conversations come up where they could be talking about business, they're probably going to be like, yo, if we say that, we're going to look like hypocrites. Everybody's seen what happened since. Everybody's seen what happened. They had to return. Anyway, they were upset that I called them workers. They were trying to say how they were part owners. Let's just group think on some public shit. If three of us own a business and we're all bosses, we're not allowing one nigga to just rename it and say it's his shit. It's the Joe Budden podcast. So I'm watching these two, like, retards talk to Joe and be like, yo, who gave you the permission to tell me to go home? And I'm like, nigga, it's the Joe Budden podcast. Let me say it again. It's the Joe Budden podcast. Now, again, I probably will spend some time on this because this is hilarious. I'm only here to shut them niggas up permanently when it comes to boss talk. Y'all niggas need to listen. I don't care. If you came from Twitter or some other place, you nigga, you probably don't like me. It's cool. But if you want to listen to a nigga talk about business, listen to ACK. Ak is doing everything them niggas is talking about. Them niggas is just losers. You get me? You can learn game from even a nigga you don't like. So I just want to get certain niggas who be talking certain shit, you got to remove them from the conversation because they really don't belong in there. So, and I won't get, actually I will. Actually I won't. They went back to work, but let me just prove my point once and for all. Chat, was I not the first person who said these niggas are workers? Y'all should not listen to them about Spotify and other things. Yes or no? Yes or no? Spam it in the comment section. I'm talking to y'all straight up. Yes or no? Now, let me prove my point, and you're hearing it from their mouths. By the way, how ironic they went back and had to publicly get shamed again. Joe was shitting on them niggas, bro. Shitting on them like, yo, I don't owe y'all shit. Like, the fuck is up with y'all? You gonna have a different type of conversation with your boss when your boss just replaced you and he found out he could do without you. Yeah, Joe don't owe y'all shit, nigga. Watch this. I'm gonna just prove all my points. All my points. I said they were workers. They were upset at that. A lot of fallout. Could we get the proof that they're workers? All right, cool. Remember, they're like, yo, we're like, we're equity partners, this, that, and the third. You tell me if this is. I'm going to play 2 clips. Listen to this, chat. By the way, salute to Joe, man. I think that nigga wanted to fight Joe because Joe, like, is cool with me. Nigga, if me and Joe link up, that's millions, nigga. You think Joe care about you that much, you dumbass nigga? Look how he talk to you. Joe about the bag. Let me tell y'all that, nigga. What you think Joe about to be like, yo, fuck Akademiks? No, I don't say nothing about Joe. Bruh, this the bag, nigga. Are you stupid? Are you dumb? That nigga replaced you and like, yo, them niggas was like, yo, I can't believe you replaced us. Are you fucking stupid? Hold on, but let me get to my first point. I said they were workers. In case you didn't believe me, they're workers. Let me play 2 clips, okay? Let me play 2 clips. First of all, look at Jay-Z's pre-cum sitting right there. This nigga, he's the biggest just trash on this fucking show. No fucking talent. Nigga think he's the coolest. Never done anything. Never worked for anything. Listen to this nigga right here, right? So let's evaluate why these bum-ass niggas, quote-unquote, left the show, right? Listen to this shit.
How you feeling?
Listen to this.
You're cool. I feel cool, man.
It's nice to see you guys again. It's nice to have you back.
Yeah, I wish I had this whole fucking salacious story of we're back and this is what happened and this is what was said and I was fucking some friends working through some shit. Some lines were blurred between friendship, respect, business.
Hold on, let me stop this.
Podcast.
Y'all hate when this bum ass nigga says that, man. And let me clarify. Nigga, y'all were confused about your business. That's the fuck that was going on. Y'all were confused about it. And truth be told, if y'all didn't somehow figure it out, you'd have probably sued Joe. Let's keep it 100, bro. Yeah, listen, Joe never respected these niggas from day one. Let me tell you, like, in case I don't realize how the Joe Budden podcast works, okay? Let's be clear. Niggas tune in to hear Joe. While Joe is giving his opinions, he needs people, Stooge 1 and Stooge 2, to bounce off, ad-lib, let him do his thing, set him up, ask him enough questions. But that's about it. Also, it's about kind of joking on each other. That's the thing that brought an audience. These niggas claim they left their job because they got in their feelings. Y'all there to bust each other's balls. The thing with Joe is, Joe, like, as soon as this shit is over, like, he don't even care. Like, yeah, he's kind of like a sociopath with that, but like, or psychopath, whatever you want to call it. He don't care. But that's the job you signed up for. He's going to joke on you. You're going to joke on him. Whatever. And at the end, y'all just move on. This fucking albino dweeb start looking like a school shooter, just looking like he about to pick up an AR-15. yes, you're going to get sent home. Also, I could imagine the conflict when Joe is talking about everything going on in his life, not because your ass getting roasted by me and you pussy too pussy to respond, and your chick beating your ass, and your side chick spilling the beans. Whatever the case is, you got to understand that's the show. He going to joke on you. That's how it goes. It was working. So he gets in his feelings, and basically that's where they're at. Like, they're in their feelings. They want to work. And also, what happened is, this is truthfully, bro. Actually, no, let me not say truthfully, because this is really just my assessment of it. Bro, you could tell. And I told y'all from the Spotify thing. Did I tell y'all? Tell me, everybody spam in the chat if I told y'all. These niggas had zero idea what was going on business-wise. And that's why I was saying, how could these niggas not be workers? Let me tell you this right now. And by the way, Joe's going to bring up Spotify. Joe will attest to this. The biggest thing that Complex ever did wrong is make information available to people who are just workers. This is how the game is played in corporate America. I hire you for $10, but I make 1,000 off of you. Now, if you find out I make 1,000 off you, first of all, maybe you never had $10 like a day or whatever the case is. That's great. Till the day you find out I make 1,000 off you. If every rapper found out what a record label truly made off of them, every rapper would be upset. Remember that. The game of corporate is that you never let the worker know how much you're making from them. I could tell you, Complex. Nigga, the day Joe Budden found out how much Spotify paid Complex, the show was over. I kid you not. Facts. It was never the same. Joe was kicking down doors going like, yo, hey, I'm not doing this shit. If we're getting this, y'all get, no way. Fuck no. Nope. Hey, contract, nope. Hey, nope. But that's every business. That's every business. So, I know what the workers should know and what, when you're really a partner, you should know. For my last, after Joe left, and we worked on a contract for about a year, 3 months before he left it, till about like 8 months till after he left, we worked on a contract, me and Complex. That's why I stayed. I was finally privy to enough information with Everyday Struggle that I could see transparent numbers. But even then, I wasn't privy to company numbers in what the show was doing for the company. Let me say that again. I'm going to tell you why. Because when I'm saying this thing about workers and shit like that, y'all listen to bum-ass niggas like that. Like, this thing is dumb as rocks. I'm telling y'all this. I'm telling you business. So I knew how much Everyday Struggle made, right? So every quarter they would send me a thing. Hey, we paid this for production, paid this for this, paid this for this, paid this for this, paid this. These are our salaries, and this is what we got in ads, blah, blah, blah. They do a balance sheet. Hey, this is a profit or if it's a loss, whatever, right? And I was entitled to a percentage. Because I told them I would only stay, and I knew, like, by the way, I had a lot of leverage. Thanks to Joe with that, because Joe left. If I left, it'd be a wrap. They caved a little bit to me, right? So I was a partner in the show, but I'm not a partner in the company. They're not going to tell me how much Complex is pulling. They'll tell me how much Everyday Struggle is pulling. Now, I'm only telling you that because this is why I call them a worker. I knew when Spotify was talking to the Joe Budden podcast, any decisions to be made was not to be made by Rory and Mealy Mall. Actually, they had no idea unless Joe told them. So it was ironic, the same dudes who used to question my business acumen were up on a podcast sitting there looking clueless and talking about equity. They had no idea. They were blindly riding cock. So I put it out there. I said, hey, these niggas is workers. Bothered this bum ass nigga a lot. His emotions really drove him to here. And by the way, I don't want to take credit for none of what has happened, but him being emotional led to problems at home, led to problems in the workplace, and eventually led to him going on strike. Let me give you the proof that these niggas are actually workers even after they went on a 6-week strike and came back. Remember, I say I just saying a bunch of shit. Here's the proof. Let's listen.
Casting, and we had to work through it and get an understanding of where we was at to make everyone feel comfortable and moving forward. And that comes first before we start looking at fucking, contracts and business shit. We got to understand how we're all viewed here, as a pod.
Sure.
So, yeah. I hope that wasn't too political. I don't have a headline for anyone. I'm sorry. It wasn't headline material. I can make something up.
Yo, classic. I don't know what this nigga is, but yo, you can tell he's trying not to say nothing. The thing is, Mealy Mall, he's dumb as that nigga is dumb as 2 dice, like dumb as shit. So he gives it up. This nigga is like, he's saying a bunch of nothing, like he's trained in that. That's all he does on the show. He translates what Joe says in college terms, so he says nothing. So he just explain what the fuck happened, but like you're like, wait, what? Wait. Y'all just trying to get an understanding of what's going on. Yeah, it was what? Huh? This bum ass nigga, hear Mealy Mall right now.
If you want.
Or did I pass it? Did I pass it? No, maybe I did pass it. Wait.
How you feeling?
You cool? I feel cool, man.
It's nice to see you guys again. It's nice to have you back.
Yeah.
Have history and you've been through things with, and you've seen that character.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because nowadays there's so much fake shit going on. Like when you got real niggas in your corner and real niggas in your life, you gotta, keep them, man. Because these niggas out here, it's a lot of fake shit going on. True. And that's why, for me, that's why I said it was never about,
here it is.
The business, whatever. Like we could work that out or we can't.
Listen to the words. It was never about the business. Hear this.
You know what I'm saying? But respect.
Niggas sound like fucking Aretha Franklin. Jesus Christ.
As long as respect is still in order and respect is still there, you can get through anything. You can...
All right. You see, let's skip past the lies. This is when he finally gives it up. Here we go, chat. Here we go.
Do an okay job. You can't get mad at that. Right?
I wasn't mad.
Oh, perfect. Actually, here we go. Which Joe pretty much told him, like, yo, listen, y'all can't get mad that I brought in some niggas who actually fans like too, and y'all realize y'all were replaceable. Now y'all over here running back talking about why I didn't try to fix it.
You can't.
Here we go. Let me get through this ad.
Me? You can't tell me that. You can't tell me that.
This entrepreneur.
The only thing I'm gonna follow Joe for, Joe, you gotta tell these niggas is the Joe Budden podcast. Like literally, like you have to tell them that. Like they're under some type of false assumptions, which it should be clear. You make decisions without them. You make decisions because you want to, yet they think they're making the decisions. Just tell them it's my shit. I pay y'all, do y'all job. Y'all clearly do a serviceable job enough, and then leave. That's it. But these niggas think you need to consult them. I don't know how Joe was actually here and stood these niggas telling him, like, yo, you got to run decisions by us. I'm like, huh? But listen to this.
I said that to you. But if I say that to you and then you leave and then don't show up for the next however many weeks and then somebody else sit down and do an okay job, you can't get mad at that. Right?
I wasn't mad. That's not what I'm mad at.
Or you can't.
That's not what I'm mad at.
You can't have no smoke for the people that come sit in.
I don't have smoke for nobody. If I had smoke for niggas know.
Yo, look at this bum ass nigga in the middle. He look like two parents arguing over him. Look at him. He just looking down at the controller like, when I'm gonna get to play. Look at this bum ass nigga right here.
No, you had smoke for niggas on. I'm saying you tweeted that you had a few moments.
Who?
On Twitter where you had to, you know what I mean? It don't matter.
I didn't have smoke for nobody. I don't have smoke for nobody, bro. Now, people may have said things and I may have just like laughed, but that ain't smoke for nobody.
Are you guys, come on, let me get to the tough questions, man. Are you guys unhappy, overworked?
Here we go.
Underpaid?
Here we go.
Do y'all hate me? Like this
No.
stories? Come on, get to it.
None of that.
You gotta get to it.
You know the answers to the questions.
Yeah,
we spoke.
like we spoke, but if we want to
We asked them for them.
If we want to
It ain't
answer
about
it
me.
here, my issue was simply respect and transparency when it came to business. That was it. That's all.
If that don't tell you enough, let me run it back one more time. Just spam accurate right. This bum nigga, Jay-Z's pre-cum, who's right there, has been on the show for like 6 years. And in year 6, he's saying he walked off the job because he didn't get respect and there's no transparency. How the fuck is there no transparency when allegedly all 3 of y'all decided to walk away from a 8-figure deal from Spotify? It clearly means you niggas never even knew about that shit. They're asking Joe for they have no idea. That's worker shit. What I tell you about with Complex? By the way, me and Joe, we were workers at Complex. We weren't bosses. We're workers. By the way, there's nothing wrong with being workers, but you got to understand what you are. I was a worker at Complex. I'm a boss with my shit. Joe is a worker with Complex. He's a boss with his shit. I told you, the problem, the one thing Complex did that was fucked up, the moment you let the niggas you employed get the knowledge of how much you are taking them for, it's over. This nigga is literally admitting to us that he has no fucking clue what's been going on. Listen to this shit.
None of that.
You got to get to it.
You know the answers to the questions.
Yeah,
we spoke.
like we spoke, but if we want to,
We asked him for them.
if we want to
It ain't
answer
about
it
me.
here, if we want to answer it here, my issue was simply respect and transparency when it came to business.
You're asking, this nigga's 40. He's asking Joe like, yo, we just want to check. Nigga, you're not one of the bosses, nigga. The only transparency you need to see is your paycheck. Which, truth be told, you don't even deserve one. That shit should be transparent. Should be see-through. Should be nothing. But just listen to these niggas who claim they were bosses have to sit up on a podcast and literally admit, we just want transparency. Like, what's going on? Like, yo, what's going on? These niggas were finding out about the great shit Joe is doing behind the scene, and believe me, some good shit. They're finding out the day they show up to the podcast. They're not making no. That's why I'm saying they're workers. Look,
That was it. That's all. I didn't have an issue with nothing else.
look, hear this.
Nothing else.
Listen.
My issues are very short. Respect and transparency. What's going on with the business? Why have we never seen this? Why have we never seen that? Why we don't?
Wait, did this nigga say, why haven't we seen this? Why haven't... Wait, no way. These niggas said they were bosses like me. No way. No. Hey, this is why I'm having my moment of joy. Ruri and Mealy Mall, y'all sat there and y'all berated me for why I didn't go to Revolt with Joe Budden. You know why I didn't go? Because, nigga, how could I go there blindly behind a man's word when I didn't speak to the company, then expect transparency? If the company didn't come to me, I'm basically going through a third party to go somewhere. That's what y'all did. Now y'all talking in your 6th year. You're figuring out what I realized 3 years ago. Except I didn't get up and bitch about it. I made my own move and dipped. I said, all right, you know, with all due respect, I'm staying at Complex School. Now y'all on a podcast, you grown as fuck. Jay-Z's pre-cum is sitting there just like, we just want to know what's going on with the business. How could you be a boss if you... Chat, just tell me if I'm wrong. So you see when I'm saying I'm having a victory lap, I knew they were going to go back to work. It's the only show in town for them. I'm pretty sure they thought we should do our own podcast because they know Joe will never look at them as 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Never. It'll always be 95-5. But it's the only show in town for them niggas. They'll never have this much reach. They'll never have this much impact. And they're too scared and untalented to even try something else. And it's fine. You can't, I'll knock C&D mics who know their place. But I'm only showing it to the people who sat here, and I took criticism for years. Yeah, Act don't know what he doing. Act this, act that. These two bozos were the two niggas driving the narrative. Remember, he feels the same. He just knows you see, this nigga's sensitive. And he's a little smart. So he's sensitive. So he's watching what the internet's saying. He's not going to say publicly. Mealy Mall is Jay-Z pre-cum. He might have half a brain. That nigga's stupid as fuck. He's just saying everything. He's exposing himself without even knowing. We don't know what's going on with the business. We don't know. We went on strike because we're tired of it. Tell us. Involve us in conversations, please. And by the way, I'm going to show y'all what Joe's response is. Listen again.
Laughed, but that ain't smoke for nobody.
Are you guys? Come on, let me get to the tough questions, man. Are you guys unhappy, overworked,
One more time.
underpaid?
For the people in the
you
back.
hate me like this.
No.
Stories. Come on, get to it.
None of that.
You gotta get to it.
like you know the
we
answers to the questions.
Yeah,
We spoke.
like we spoke, but if we want to,
We asked them for them.
if we want to
It ain't
answer
about
it
me.
here, if we want to answer it here, my issue was
Let me cut this out one more time. There's mad things that Joe does business-wise I don't agree with. Do you know why I don't hop up on here and be like, yo, oh, Joe did this. Yo, Joe turned this down. Yo, why would Joe walk away from this? I realized this, especially even after the Complex situation. The Complex situation put me on a mainstream level that I wanted to be on. And that's why I could never really have smoke for Complex. I got what I wanted out of it. It wasn't money. It was to be seen in a certain light. When Joe walked away from it, I was a little confused at first. But seeing and watching what happened afterwards, that's when I realized. It's a little bit like Dave Chappelle and other people. There's certain motherfuckers who could bet on their talent. There's certain people who, business-wise, they could just blow it up and they'll go somewhere else and they'll create fire again. There's some people who only create fire once. Joe Budden has created fire at least 8-9 times. That's why when these two bums thought they were more important than they were and they dipped, nigga, Joe walked away from Everyday Struggle. They were comparing Everyday Struggle with the Breakfast fucking Club. Are you kidding me? If he walked away from that, confident that he was going to be good, you think these little two dweebs dipping was going to be like, oh my God, they finally got Joe? No. Joe, that's why even with the Spotify, I think Joe's going to be fine. That nigga bets on his talent. But listen again.
simply respect and transparency when it came to business. That was it. That's all I didn't have an issue with nothing else. Nothing else. My issues are very short. Respect and transparency. What's going on with the business? Why have we never seen this? Why have we never seen that? Why we don't know what's going on with this? Why we don't know what's going on with that? That was it. It was that simple for me. It wasn't nothing deep. It wasn't nothing like that couldn't be resolved, spoken about. Nothing. Like I said, for me, shit went left when you said what you said. That's when my energy changed. And it was like, oh, okay.
So again, and I want to make sure y'all hear it. We wanted to know what was going on with this, what was going on with that. That's an admission that they did not know. Which, for everything I've said about them being workers, Joe being the boss, them talking about Spotify, them not being in a position to even make that decision, them talking about me and decisions I should have made, when truth be told, they have no idea about what their own dealings are. If that doesn't highlight my point, I don't know. This is why I'm thinking this is a real victory lap for me. But I'm going to play you Joe's response. Joe did have a response to these niggas. Joe had a response. Holy. You want to hear Joe's response? Listen to this.
Like,
Yeah.
it was.
Listen, remember these niggas are saying, yo, we just want to know what's going on with the business, the friendship. Yo, we need respect. Like, yo, just let us know something, dog. Like, what's up? Like, yo, help us. You know what Joe said to these bum-ass niggas? Listen to this.
It's completely different. Jay didn't owe you nothing. Us, the three of us, all owe each other something because we're friends.
What do you think I owe y'all?
As friends, I think back to the respect thing and the understanding.
This nigga, he gonna get red about a second. Look at this fool. He don't know what. He never thought that question would have came out of Joe's mouth. What the fuck you think I owe you? Look at this.
thing and
in the entitlement thing. What do you think I owe you, Rory?
That nigga is talking to, this nigga Joe talking to this chick like a 21-year-old chick from Dykeman, okay? The fuck you think I owe you? You got some good pussy and what? What the fuck you think I owe you? What the fuck? Joe's talking to these niggas like they wanted his hoes. My nigga Joe, man. Just salute to Joe. Y'all gotta stop slandering my nigga, man. He talking to these bum ass niggas. Look, these niggas sound like they're on a casting couch. Listen.
the understanding thing and
in the entitlement thing.
Entitlement. Listen, I'm telling you, this is a conversation you have with your chick. A chick let you fuck one time or a couple times, she feel like she entitled to like you doing this for her, being here. No, we just fuck. Like, what you talking about? Look how Joe's dealing with these niggas.
What do you think I owe you, Rory?
oh, just as I'm not talking anything outside of friendship. And
Yo, you know when you ain't read the night before and the teacher call on you and be like, yo, what does Shakespeare say on page 55? You're like, what the fuck? Yo, look, this nigga is struggling for the answer. Joe is asking him straight up, what do you think I owe? Now, here's the thing. If he had any legit case like, yo, you owe me this, you owe me nothing. This is how you know Joe's doing these bum ass things a favor. They're trying to use this thing that, yo, we're friends with Joe, so Joe should treat us equally in business. Newsflash to both you bozos. Mealy Mo, you got 25% of a brain, so you might not get it. But you, nigga, you supposed to be the college interpreter for Joe. Just because he's friends with you, don't mean he owes you anything in business. That is Joe's business. Listen to this fool.
the understanding thing and
in the entitlement thing. What
Entitled
do you think
motherfucker.
I owe you, Rory?
oh, just as I'm not talking anything outside of friendship.
Wait, what?
And that comes down to
What do you think I owe you, nigga? I ain't say you owe me nothing outside of French. Friendship and business don't mix. Business is business. I'm telling y'all give Joe too much flack. I'm gonna tell you why. Yo, these bums went on strike for 6 weeks. And because it's the first of the month, it's coming up 2 days. They ran back to their jobs. Here's the thing. If you work on Wall Street, you can't dip for 6 weeks and come back randomly. Unless you're using vacation time, paid time off, all that. You can't just dip when you want and come back when you want. But these two bozos who keep talking about other people's business is trying to tell Joe we could do it because we're friends. What? This is business, you bums. Think about what's going. Yo, listen, I get it. By the way, Joe don't fuck with these niggas. Not that they don't fuck with him, but like clearly Joe realizes the podcast is him. They're peons. Facts. Okay. He is friends with him. This and third, but like you can tell, like, come on, these niggas is bums. These niggas is trying to smoothen everything that they have done. Like, yo, wait, no, we're friends though. You owe us no, you don't. Friendship and business don't mix. And he's learning it right here. The nigga went to college. If he wasn't fucking shimmying so fucking much, he would have probably learned a thing or two. But look how stupid he's coming off.
the understanding thing and
in the entitlement thing. What do you think I owe you, Rory?
oh, just as I'm not talking anything outside of friendship. And that comes down to
You couldn't think of nothing, nigga. Think about it. These bitch ass niggas couldn't say one real reason why they dipped. I feel like I feel like the French. Y'all stop working because friendship? Or y'all here to do business or y'all here to be friends? By the way, I didn't place in chronological order. Joe got at these niggas. You know why? Saying this? Because they were offended that Joe replaced them. Why didn't you come try to fix it with us before you replaced us? Wait, hold on. Let me do the math. So Joe is making millions from his podcast. They're not seeing millions. They're seeing like tens of thousands. It's cool. Joe's making millions from his podcast, but two niggas who are highly emotional. By the way, one niggas keep talking about the cloth. Nigga, you need a Kleenex to wipe your eyes. You emotional, nigga. The other nigga is talking about respect. You think he's Aretha Franklin. How the fuck are both you niggas trying to do business but only caring about feelings and shit like that? But I digress. Listen.
What do you owe someone in friend? I'm asking.
Respect and communication amongst each other.
I owe that to strangers in the street.
Talk to him, Joe.
Different level of it.
Not really.
Yeah, it is.
Not to me.
Talk to
Okay,
him.
You owe strangers in the street respect?
Yeah, small. I respect people in the street
don't-
as I go
you
about.
don't-
That's
you
how I.
don't-
That's how I carry myself.
The same
that's
level
not
of
what- that's
respect.
not
That
what
is how I
asked
carry
you.
myself. Yes,
That's not what I asked you. I said, do you owe them that? A stranger. Do you owe a stranger respect?
I freely give it.
Do you owe a stranger respect?
No.
Joe done told these bum ass niggas, I respect a stranger more than I respect y'all. And by the way, here's the thing. These niggas are still, they're trying to get out of every situation saying we're friends. Joe is saying, I'm doing business. And every time Joe is basically making an argument that he's doing business, they keep saying friendship. It's the reason why friends and business can't mix. You're going to look at Joe as an asshole if you're looking at him saying, yo, those are your friends, though. You're going to look at him like, nigga, you're right, when he says, if y'all just dip and I keep the business going on because I'm a businessman, what the fuck is, like, y'all deal with y'all feelings, I got to do business. That's right. But these niggas keep throwing in the friendship shit.
Okay, so then you can't say that when you're talking about friends.
But you don't.
You owe friends respect.
I don't believe that.
Yes, you do.
You don't believe that you owe your friends respect?
I don't believe
Listen,
that.
if it's one thing I've learned throughout this, I'm never gonna expect anybody to move how I move. So that's fine. If you don't feel that way, that's fine. I'm just telling you the way.
And Rory, the word "owe" speaks to entitlement, and I don't have entitlement even in my friendships. I am appreciative of my.
Hey, I'm going to pause. I just thought of this right now. I'm going to go to this clip right here. Joe Budden, Akademiks, IG Live. I'm going to go to the part where we speak about Mealy Mall and Ruri. And I say, well, Joe, I'm going to make this smaller. Hold up. And I say, well, Joe, like, you know them niggas ain't in there making decisions with you. And Joe says to them, like, this is why their whole situation's fucked up. Friendship and business has made a very blurry line. And look, I'm going to play the part. I'm going to find the part somewhere.
But it took it from.
Here we go.
You'll interview Mona one day. You'll talk to her.
You know, like, think your worth. Underestimate my worth.
And I went and got that $1 million. See, that's the part niggas more money than the fuck you just telling all the business.
What?
Imagine the conversation where I could ask for two.
I'm trying to find the part, but I'm going to give Joe some blame here, too, because I remember when I said to Joe, I said, Joe, those dudes ain't talking to Spotify. And Joe basically says, yo, I'm going to hold my friends down. So I can understand if Joe's talking like that. And by the way, I don't mean to stick up for Ruri and Mealy Mall. There's a very blurred line here. It's somewhere in the conversation.
50. My way is not for everybody.
Hold up.
For your 50%. I don't know who's here. I don't know who's listening.
And you know, that might have just been a personal thing, right, with you and Charlamagne.
With me and you? Oh,
You gonna burn every brick? Well, father.
It'll be acknowledged.
Hold on. Well, I'll give you full transparency. That very,
Media. Not because Joe is a threat, not because there's this long line of women present day that quit it. It's been dismissed. I've been.
Wait. Do you know the time stamp for me?
Who gives a fuck if the zip code is like?
Oh, here we go. He was trying to tweet out my zip code. Hey, hold on.
If
Joe.
Rory went to your house,
Here we go.
They might stand by you like Nike did Tiger. Went somewhere. We went to your house.
The only thing I see with that, because I love, war of words, sparring cool.
Yo,
You saw that.
I mind my business.
No, hold on. Yeah. But Joe, here's the thing though, right? Like, with the whole, yeah, I don't care. Like, first of all, I'm a public figure. See, your baby boy
I would pray on it.
was an amateur move. To your, and I think can't respect niggas who ain't
About it.
commenting on niggas who did build shit. So I'm watching both of them, and I'm like, yo, if Joe says, yo, act, you're fucking up your brand by doing this, I get it. When y'all say it, I look at y'all and say, what, like, how do you even have the wherewithal, especially, again, just like how you dismiss Andy Schultz, like, I'm dismissing them. Why do you have the...
I don't think I got the clip, man. I don't got the clip. But we were on live. though. Shit. Yo, Graham was if you find that part of the clip, he basically said, I'm gonna ride for my homies. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Listen, with all due respect to Joe, like, that sounds good. But nigga, you do your negotiation, I'm gonna do my negotiation. These fucking bums clearly got caught up in blurring the lines of friendship and business. I'm gonna tell you the truth, it don't mix. You gotta have a clear line. Hey, this is the business and this is the friendship. It can't be, oh, this is my guy, so he's gonna do right by me. That cannot be the situation. I'm telling y'all, anybody who, like, this ain't even about them bums. Them bums is not talented. But for anybody, any situation, and you go into business with someone you consider a friend, never have the business be defined by your friendship. And that's what I believe was happening here. The business is defined by the friendship. So these niggas is now worried about their business when they feel like the friendship is deteriorating or they feel like Joe violating them. Somebody said, I can't hire my homies. You can. But what I'm saying is, define your business contractually, make it separate, then why you're friends. Because, for example, if you're not owed or expected to do something as per the business, not because you're friends means you should be then expecting the same thing. Do you get what I mean? Don't blur the lines. Yo, we cool, we homies, we chill, we talk, we hang out on these type of nights, blah, blah, blah. But not because of that could be like, well, usually nobody can just take a show off and just not show up, but that's my homie. I'm just not going to show up. You get what I mean? That's the point I'm trying to make.
Friends, you owe your friends respect.
I am grateful for my friends, and because of that, my behavior I would hope it exudes that, no?
You owe your friends respect.
There's a certain strain of bacteria called Lactobacillus reuteri.
My bad. Yo, chat. You know what? I'm about to get ad blockers.
Case,
Ad blockers.
when your friends, you built something with your friends, and your friends have built something with you and have created something with you and have grown something with you, absolutely you owe them respect. 1,000,000%. There's no way around it.
I feel I owe my friends respect.
Let me be honest with you. Again, when I'm saying most of these things, Joe ain't telling me. Bro, anybody with a brain could see it. Joe don't feel like these niggas were as necessary as they feel they were. I think Joe really feels like, it's my shit, I built it, it's an extension of what I've worked for all my life, gained an audience through rap, through blog TV, through Joe Budden forums, through tweeting all the time, through being on Hot 97. This is an extension of that. Y'all have came along for the ride. And, y'all should be happy that y'all now have names and y'all are famous. But if y'all want me to say, like, yeah, y'all built it with me, but if y'all want me to think of y'all like we're all equals, like, that's never going to happen. And actually, if you want me to think y'all like partners, that's never going to happen either. Y'all are workers that are essential, but that's about it.
Me personally, I feel I owe my friends respect.
That's why they're your friends. You respect each other.
Which is also why I apologized once we started talking about all our tension and took some accountability of how I was moving with certain things. Mm-hmm. I explained where they came from, But I took accountability in saying, no, I do owe you that respect where I should not sit here and say that to my friend. I should have went to my friend and said, hey, not feeling what's going on here.
I don't want to get caught up in semantics, but even as y'all speak, the word "oh" bothers me.
That's cool.
I don't have a friendship where I feel like
Yo, Joe, turn up on these niggas!
which is kind of to my next point that I've shared with you gentlemen
Well,
in private.
Dead and are connected, but they're not
But we'll share it here.
the complete same.
Everyone internalizes things differently. So even when you talk about respect, that would have to be processed through everyone's individual processor, right?
Sure.
So you could be receiving respect and feel like you're not,
Yeah.
right?
Well, yeah. How people perceive things and how they internalize things, and different experiences in your life can have you.
And the
cut things differently.
lines
Yeah.
can be blurred
Sure.
in friendship and business, yes?
And people value things differently than their friends do.
I take offense to Maul saying the show should have stopped. Every time he say it, I'm a find issue.
Joe. See, Joe talking to a bunch of workers. Joe, let me tell you this. That mall nigga, bruh, that mealy mall nigga, that nigga's a fucking bum. Joe, I'm gonna tell you this. If you gotta do the podcast by your fucking self in your bathroom with the iPhone microphone, this is what an entrepreneur does. You realize after being in that major label system, and that's why you've always kind of been independent and just forging your way like that, forge your own path. You're kind of like me in a way. Nothing stops the fucking show. Anytime, like, I remember a girlfriend told me that one time. We had some big ass like argument. And I said, yo, I need to do my 2 YouTube videos or 2 or 3 YouTube videos for the day. It didn't matter what fight we got into. She was offended. What? Like, you gotta... Shorty, this is my life's mission. I'm gonna always do this. I do this regardless. On one of the toughest days in my life, I actually did a YouTube video. And not that I really had to, but it was something, well, I kind of feel like I did have to, but that's the point of what I get what Joe is saying. This bum Mealy Mall, having not worked for anything to build something up, thinks that Joe should just indefinitely suspend the podcast till they sort out their feelings. What? In what fucking $1 million business does that happen? Who does that? Oh yeah, just stop the operation. Yo, one of the people on the board for McDonald's ain't feeling right. Shut down every store. What? What are you talking about, you fucking idiot?
Issue.
Why?
With him saying the show should have stopped.
Why?
Explain.
Well,
By the way, another thing. I know I'm cutting off a lot. This is a boss talking to a worker. You see, a worker, they look at, I've always said, I remember going to the complex, I've gone to like all these media houses. And they always ask me, like, yo, how many people work for you, Ak? I say, here's the thing. This is why no company will beat the Akademiks, will beat an individual creator who lives this shit. Because when they clock out, their obligation to that job is over. They go live a different life. A true entrepreneur, you work 24 hours a day. Your mind is always on it. Even if you're not actually doing something, you're constantly planning, plotting, working, doing things to make sure your business keeps going. And for somebody like Joe, of course, he's trying his best every fucking moment to try to elevate his platform. For these dudes, they're looking at it not the same.
I dedicate my entire life to this. End statement.
Exactly. You see an employee, they clock in and clock out. After they did this podcast here, Mealy Mall isn't thinking, how do you get more deals for this shit? How do you monetize it more? How do you take this and license it here? How do you do this? How do you do that? His job is done. That's a worker. If y'all thought me hopping on stream, you know, sometimes y'all be like, yo, y'all probably think like, yo, Ak, yo, your life can't be that hard. I know you do a lot, but still, you could still do mad YouTube videos and stream. Nigga, outside of this is a million other things that I'm doing to still keep the brand name Akademiks there. For somebody who works with me, if say they're working and they're doing a podcast or a show, or they're just doing whatever, they're editing a video, they work for a set amount of time, then after it, they don't think about it again. That's the difference between a boss and a worker. These two niggas sitting next to this dude, it's a fucking worker. After they do this podcast, they think nothing about it. All Joe does is obsess with his shit. All I do obsess with my shit. Or everybody, I could imagine Gilly and Wallow. I could imagine Nori with Drink Champs. I could imagine Charlamagne with either Brilliant Idiots or shit that he actually owns. Yes.
This is not something where I come in here twice a week and talk for a few hours.
Think about why I call them workers. He's talking to the workers saying, y'all come in here and talk and leave. I have to spend my whole life trying to keep this shit up. How are you looking at what you do and what I do the same? Now the fans and the audience don't see it that way. The audience actually sees it like, well, we watch the show. You only see the end product. The end product is a show. I could imagine when them bum ass niggas left, Joe probably made like 300 phone calls. Yo, you free this week? You in Jersey? Yo, you in New York? Yo, could you link up? Yo, hey, yeah. Them niggas, we not showing up. They're on vacation. You saw one nigga who was trying to sneak into a Drake party at Delilah's.
My entire life's work lands me here. What are you talking about, day one? I don't view the days the way that y'all view them. This is a life series. Okay. All of the yesterdays, let me get my shit off. All of the yesterdays got to today. When it's your life's work, you don't leave it that way. You don't just leave it to chance.
I want to cut it off so many. Like, if you're an entrepreneur, this ain't like let me stop even saying boss. This is entrepreneur talk. Vlad, I know y'all don't like him that much. Vlad told me he said act. And by the way, Vlad's always been a good guy. We talk business and stuff like that. Vlad said act. The hardest thing you're gonna find out being an entrepreneur is hiring people. And I was like, At first I was like, He said, act, trust me. He said, it was the hardest thing for me. It's going to be the hardest thing for you. And I didn't know what he meant until I hired a few people. Let me tell you what he meant. I could do every single job associated with running whatever you think the brand or company is of Akademiks. Everything. I could edit videos. I could fucking set up a set. I could set up any type of studio. I could fucking run the Instagram. I do every single fucking thing. I know to do everything. It's very easy for me to say, hey, okay, this part, I'm going to hire you that you do this. I don't have to worry about it anymore. Let me tell you this one thing. This is why Vlad told me hiring is the hardest. No one will ever care as much as you. Everybody at that point, they're just punching the clock. Okay, I got to do this. Okay. They're just punching the clock. Nobody cares the same way I do. And that is hard to make that trade-off. It's hard to put something that I worked I gave up so much of my life to get to this point, to just put it in someone's hand that I'm giving a check that they're working. If I hire them 8 hours a day, they only care 8 hours a day. Or if I tell them, hey, you're going to run an overnight, they won't care as much as I do. They won't think 1,500 times about one particular thing like I would. It's very hard. And that's why I'm understanding what Joe is saying. I've seen a lot of people like get at Joe for this. And by the way, Joe ain't an easy nigga to deal with. He's kind of asshole-ish. Like, yeah, of course, all that is true. But when it comes to the business shit, I understand what he's going through because he's a boss talking to workers. And here's the bad part. The workers think they're bosses. It's all fucked up.
You don't just leave it up in the air with some of the ways that the three of us have handled communication. You do not do things that way. That's how Joe views it. The show has to go on. I don't have the luxury of sitting in my feelings. I don't. Joe feels a lot of things to the people.
This is facts.
People that might not be aware. I feel mad shit. At no point am I at liberty to come in here and just have feeling vomit. Me.
It's true.
I ask you, gentlemen, my next question. Where else, what other place in the world can this happen? What other place in the world can y'all leave some shit and then just return to it like?
Joe, this happens all the time.
And let's also.
These niggas don't get it. What Joe just said was powerful. These niggas is just looking at this like the same platform and luxury afforded to them. How big the platform is, its reach, is because it was built up. They could dip and come. Let me tell you this. If I stop blogging, vlogging, YouTube, doing YouTube shit, Twitch shit, if I disappear for 6 weeks, people move on. Let's put this in perspective again. If I disappear for 6 weeks, oh, well, I used to be on Akademiks page. Now I'm on Say Cheese. Shit, I used to be on Akademiks YouTube. Now I'm on No Jumper. Now I used to be like on Akademiks Twitch shit. Now I'm on this other thing. Yeah, that's what happens. So when these bum-ass niggas who are workers talking to a nigga who knows you can't go absent. You have to serve people you're a part of their lives 2 times a week. You got to give it to them. Every 2, when they come out, I don't know. 2 times a week. Every single week. When they say, I'm in my feelings, you hurt my feelings. Oh my God. You don't respect me. I'm going home. When they do that, you know what Joe got to do? He could then say, let's blow the whole platform up, and maybe the next hot podcast who's coming up, they get our whole audience for the next 6 weeks. They might even come back. Or, shit, I'm going to have to bunker in and find some way to keep this shit going. These 2 fucking imbeciles who are workers don't get it. They sit there and look at Joe like, yeah, that's what you should have done. We're friends. What? Not in a multi-million-dollar business, you fucking idiots. Joe knows what he got here. This is a $1 million product. I could tell you Joe has a $1 million product because I just went through a whole deal getting a $1 million product that I've never done an episode on yet. So if I got millions for something to come and Joe been working on this for 7 years, I know Joe shit is $1 million shit. He's supposed to leave that to y'all feelings? That's what's going on? Joe ain't never easy to work with. I work with a nigga. He ain't easy to work with. There's going to be times you dislike him. Sometimes it's a trade-off. You dislike him, but there'll be results. And sometimes you might be like, listen, man, I'm going to just show up, blah, blah. It's a roller coaster. But if I'm talking about an entrepreneur, if all 3 of these niggas were entrepreneurs who are workers don't get it, they sit there and look at Joe like, yeah, that's what you should have done. We're friends. What? Not in a multi-million-dollar business, you fucking idiots. Joe knows what he got here. This is a $1 million product. I could tell you Joe has a $1 million product because I just went through a whole deal getting a $1 million product that I've never done an episode on yet. So if I got millions for something to come and Joe been working on this for 7 years, I know Joe shit is $1 million shit. He's supposed to leave that to y'all feelings? That's what's going on? Joe ain't never easy to work with. I work with a nigga. He ain't easy to work with. There's going to be times you dislike him. Sometimes it's a trade-off. You dislike him, but there'll be results. And sometimes you might be like, listen, man, I'm going to just show up, blah, blah. It's a roller coaster. But if I'm talking about an entrepreneur, if all three of these niggas were entrepreneurs, they would have worked it out either on camera or still been there. Or they would have made sure personally, like, Joe, the person who I want to fill my seat is so-and-so. Till we get on the right page, these niggas dipped and hoped the business shut down. Those ain't bosses, people. Those are workers. The workers that are on strike outside of Walmart, they're not hoping that Walmart still profits. They're hoping that Walmart shuts down. Why? Because they're workers. They're not shareholders. They don't have equity. They don't own Walmart. And this is what I'm telling you about these two dweebs. Jay-Z's pre-cum. Mealy Mall right there. Okay? And then we got that albino bum. Okay? The homeless nigga, Rory. Tell me if I'm lying.
So give
Y'all just tell me if I be lying.
the facts of everything.
Give it up.
Let's not mislead the listeners of what's going on.
Couple of the clips.
I'm repeating myself. Yes, that's why I think a lot of this back and forth shit that we doing now is kind of pointless. Because it's separate points to what really happened.
But it's not pointless. There's some poetic justice in it. And that's why earlier I was like, yo, tell me any other workplace in the world where this chain of events could happen. Because we start at y'all questioning maybe my friendship or my respect level, right? Or just some things that should exist between us, right? And then we end with having to lean on that very same friendship to say, all right, all that other shit that wouldn't fly nowhere else in the world, it can happen here because that's my man. That's not odd.
I mean, we've done that for.
I'm not gonna talk to Maul because me and Maul don't come from corporate shenanigans and workplace stuff. You though.
That's where I come from.
You though. Tell me where that can happen at. You tell me. Come on, I don't want to make it sound like I'm talking Spanish.
But I don't know what you say in that capacity.
You say that in another job you couldn't storm out and come back 6 weeks later. And
I've gone through all this
possible to do.
Let me just translate because these niggas are slow. Joe is basically saying, y'all keep saying I respect you. Yeah, when we doing our job, yeah, shit might get disrespectful. There's a lot of shit because we have some type of familiarity with each other, friendship. We kind of go off the rails, which normally if you're working a regular job or you have a business relationship, that's not the case. But that's the same reason why y'all are even back here. Because the same reason I could chalk that up that, yo, we could have these type of kind of things between us and still be whatever, and it's because we're friends. It's the same reason y'all are back here because you can't leave any job in America for 6 weeks, just dip and just show back up and you're still hired. That's his point. I get it.
With Palooza, that's also a multi-million-dollar business of friends having these same types of problems. So yes, you can say there's a corporate side of shit.
I argue
but we ain't corporate, and neither was Palooza. Did we partner with corporate people? Sure. But that's not how the infrastructure of our shit went.
Bad example.
No, it's a great example.
Horrible. This will never stop.
Thank you. Talk to him, Joe.
Palooza stopped because of COVID.
Joe, talk to him.
This will never stop was my words. So it's a horrible example. There's not a world that exists.
Palooza didn't stop because of
Rory,
friends talking back.
my statement is not about Palooza. I don't care what you niggas do. I'm talking about this. This will
I don't give a fuck what y'all do over there, nigga.
never stop. It's y'all's to participate in like our fucking contract says. And there's no uncomfortable conversation in me and
Wait, did he say it's for y'all to participate like our contract says? Oh, Joe got these boys on a contract.
So yes, you can say there's a corporate side of shit.
I argue
but we
that.
ain't corporate, and neither was Palooza. Did we partner with corporate people? Sure. But that's not how the infrastructure of our shit went.
Bad example.
No, it's a great example.
Horrible. This will never stop.
Talk to him, Joe.
Well, Palooza stopped because of COVID.
This will never stop was my words. So it's a horrible example. There's not a world that exists.
Palooza
where
didn't stop because of
Rory,
friends talking back.
my statement is not about Palooza. I don't care what you niggas do. I'm talking about this. This will never stop.
Didn't I tell y'all these bum ass niggas was complaining about the contract with Spotify, all while their contract was only with Joe? Didn't I give me just be like, act you right, dog. Just say it. I only been spitting facts. They were talking about Spotify, but they only had a contract with Joe. Now they trying to treat Joe like he's Spotify. I told y'all this. Hold on, I can't tell you. Nigga, when I say this, facts. Nigga, if they didn't talk and reconcile this and third, the holdout was about to become legal. They were about to sue that nigga, bro. But all because of friendship, really. Because there's a blurred line. These niggas actually think they own part of the podcast. The podcast is Joe Budden's. But they believe they own part of it. Could they prove it? I don't know, maybe. I highly doubt it. It's called the Joe Budden Podcast now. If I'm the fucking judge and these niggas come to court, Joe told me he was going to give me like 15% of the podcast one time. Wait. Was that before or after he named it the Joe Budden Podcast? He told me like right before. All right, dismiss, man. Get the fuck out of here, nigga. He called it the Joe Budden Podcast. You sure knew what time it was. Get out of here, nigga.
It's y'all's to participate in like our fucking contract says. And there's no...
Yo, every time Joe says something uncomfortable, this nigga drinking from an empty cup. This nigga put his whole nose in the cup. Holy. Like when these niggas get called out,
no uncomfortable conversation that me and Maul can have that change what we legally bound to do.
You see, this is why I'm gonna tell you why Joe's son these bum ass niggas. Joe the only one who willing to talk business, actual business on the podcast. These niggas that been giving you smoke and mirrors for like so long. When Joe they trying to make a little point, Joe brought it up, nigga. Our contract says this. We're legally bound to this. No more rebuttal from them. Nothing. As soon as it brings a contract and legal, watch what they say. That's why you know they don't got no legs to stand on. They're workers.
I said that to y'all privately. I'll say it here too.
Sure.
There's nothing y'all could say to me. I said this in your absence. There is nothing a friend could say to me that ends the friendship. I need to see more. No, you have to do something, nigga. Your character gonna have to shine. But your words, that's not Joe. That's not to diminish anybody that happens for, but that's never been me.
And nor is it
that's
us
never been me.
because we sitting here talking about it. We gave the history of the last month of where people felt on certain things and when we was trying to go through shit. We sitting here now because we feel the same fucking way. If it was just based off, if Maul really felt like you saying the show's not your business, you think he'd be sitting here?
I don't want to.
No, he knows it's his business.
Rory, and this is where we just view things differently on friendship. Because Maul and I are friends or call ourselves friends, I would have thought we could get to the friendship conversation at any point. We're friends. Which is what I called from Park's backyard and said, yo, dog, if you never pod again, we gonna talk. I said that. I'm consistent.
Hold on. Grand Wizard say how go to where? 5120. Here we go.
Your job, Maul.
That's not what happened, Joe. Joe, you looked me in my face and told me this show was none of my business.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That's what you told me.
I was there.
That's not crazy to you?
Joe, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to start translating for you, brother. I don't know why you don't tell these bitch-ass niggas the truth. Mealy Mole and Ruri, you know why it's not your business? Because both of y'all have publicly expressed that y'all don't have the passion for the business that Joe passionately and dedicates his life to. Y'all don't care about it like how he cares about it, so why would he consult y'all on business moves relating to it? The Mealy Mole nigga literally said that like he don't give a fuck about podcasting. That's Joe's life at this point. The other nigga say he don't give a fuck about building a network. That's what Joe's mission is at this point. So when he's making a decision about the podcast or a network, why the fuck would he consult two bum ass niggas that clearly told him that their passion or what they want to do don't revolve around what he's interested in. Why? That's the whole point. He's not gonna consult y'all on shit because y'all are still acting like y'all are too cool. Newsflash for both of y'all. Y'all need a podcast to pay y'all bills. I don't know why y'all don't act. Yo, it's lame that these niggas are still acting like they're like, yo, I just do this because it's fun. No, it's your career. And that's why you're still getting hoed. It's your career, but you're still trying to put on a front like you're casual in it. It's your career. So when it's somebody's passion and y'all are still acting like, yo, it's kind of cool, he's not going to consult y'all.
Is that not crazy to you? If you say no, it's no. Like, I'm not here to put how I'm designed on anybody else.
If you claim you don't care about podcasting, how could podcast business be your business? If you don't care about it. You say you don't care about you say you don't care if you be potting. So if the nigga's making a decision on what the pod is gonna do, why would he consult you? You don't care.
Bro, I'm asking you.
Well, if it's one thing that we should have all learned from this is you can't do that.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
You can't.
I'm just asking you. If somebody told it's something you helped build and pushed and never really argued about shit, just kept fuck it, let's keep it moving, let's keep doing what we're doing. And they tell you years later,
let's stop this. These are the niggas who like talking about business. You heard what that bum ass nigga said? They don't argue. Basically, what he's saying is like they don't really care about business. They'll be like, let's keep it going. Don't pop up in the 11th hour acting like you ain't getting what you deserve business wise, or now you've been shielded or business has been hidden from you. You basically said you were just going along with the ride. And this is where money come between friends. Let me tell you this. Is Joe Budden revealing to these bum ass niggas how much money has been offered and how much money he turned down, and how much money he walked away from that made these niggas now care? They don't care about actually what Joe cares about. Because again, Joe got money. So he could turn down 10, 20, 25 million. These niggas like, what? Now, granted, that's a proper reaction. But if y'all never cared before, don't care now. Y'all been letting him make all decisions up until now, or you didn't have a problem with it. Why would he consult you now? Because his millions on the table.
Yo, this is none of your business.
I don't think I should have said that to you.
I don't think you should have said that either. But I'm asking you, if somebody
I
said it
also
to you,
do not think that was should have been, because I don't get to speak what should have happened, what did happen. I don't think it should have been the domino that you sitting here saying that it was. But I can't tell you
wasn't.
How to feel about some
that
shit.
wasn't the domino. That was like, oh. That was the okay.
Mo, you rode with Rory before that. How you think I looked at that?
What you mean I rode with him?
That was the
About him, about you telling him not to come in?
About him, anything.
About you telling him not to come in? Of course.
Him.
Of course. Of course I'm going to ride with.
And I would like
He's
you
our
to
co-host.
speak to, I want you, I'm not dealing with him right now. I'm looking
that.
at you.
And I understand that.
I want you to speak to what that means.
He's our co-host. That fucks up the chemistry of this whole thing. If you remove him, if you remove you, if you remove Paul, it fucks up the whole chemistry. That's what you're not understanding.
Well, I hate to be the guy to break it to you. Oh, let me not say that because that's not true. I hate to be the guy to break this to you. I don't foresee any world in the world where you're supposed to ride with Rory.
What?
I don't.
How do you figure that?
And let's clear it up from my perspective.
Hey,
there.
How do you figure that?
I'm in the pod. I'm in the pod.
Let me be clear.
I'm here to pod.
Riding for the show.
I'm here to pod. You
Whatever,
looking
you in the pod.
nuts.
It's no.
Riding
No.
I look nuts?
You sound nuts perceiving it that way.
Yeah,
it was
that's
riding for the
not
show.
even-
It was riding for the show.
Yeah, like it wasn't even about Rory.
More wasn't like, yo, you my man. Like it was
not
it's
to
the show.
record. Like that was nuts to me. Like
Riding for the show is making sure that 30 or however many people that are attached to the show are okay. That's riding for the show.
No, riding for the show is obviously two people that are a major part of the show have an issue. And you telling one of them not to come in, and now I'm sitting here like, the riding part would have been, yo, let's all get in the room and talk about this. Let's talk about what's going on. But you telling him not
So
to
you don't
record.
even see a world where that even looks funny. You don't even understand
No,
that.
because it wasn't what you trying to paint it to be. Is not what it is. For me, it was simply like, yo, fam, that's our
Oh wait,
dog.
time out. I don't want
That's
y'all.
our co-host.
All right, stop. Because I don't want this to appear like I'm trying to paint it away. I'm trying to get y'all to speak to what things look like from a perspective outside of your own. I'm not trying to paint it that way, so I don't want it to come off that way.
I totally get it. But what I'm saying is, you saying me riding with Rory is nuts. I ride with anybody I fuck with. I ride with any, like, if it's...
That's Jay-Z pre-cum, man. I keep telling you, he be swinging from ball sack to ball sack, man. Of course, he always riding somebody's dick. That's what he always doing. He just keep riding dick. That's what he keep doing.
If you wrong, you wrong. I don't care if me and you are best friends. If you're wrong, I'm going to...
Joe, let me give you some advice. Joe, I know you're in a tough position because, for what it's worth, you are friends with these guys. So you don't want to violate them. You don't want to do too crazy, but you want your business to keep propelling. Those two new dudes that you had on for like a month or so, or 6 weeks. I forgot their name. Ish and something else. People like them. Getting back to these two industry dick suckers might appease a good part of your core, but it's not what's going to make you go on to the next. Here's what I suggest you do. You got 2 podcasts. I think you should have, truth be told, you should have only had one. You're on Patreon now. You should only had one public and the other one Patreon per week. I think y'all doing too much work, but it's fine. Again, it's not my business to tell you how to do business. But if you're going to have 2 podcasts, you put these 2 dweebs on one of them and you keep the other 2 dudes. You got to keep the other 2 dudes. The other 2 dudes, they giving it up. And trust me, it's hard to find people that'll give it up. Because whatever outrage I think it is for Mealy Mall and Rory, it's because of fans' familiarity. As I said, it will take about 8 months for people not to give a fuck about them. But like, you're on Patreon, like you're not being supported by like crazy ad dollars at this point. So you want to please the people. And the people kind of like the core wanted them back. But truth be told, if you're going to bet your money on anything, if you're going to bet your future on anything, those 2 new niggas who was giving it up, and maybe they change later in time. But you got to bet on them. They going to get it lit. These 2 niggas, all they're doing, they're like the person, you ever worked at a job and somebody, they've been there for so long, all they don't do no work. They just clock in, chill, talk, mac to girls, talk to their baby mama, clock out. That's all these niggas is doing. Keep those other 2 dudes. I'm a very good advice, if you ask me.
Tell you you're wrong.
Is there anything else to talk about with this?
It was wrong to tell Rory not to come in and record. That was wrong.
These niggas came in to negotiate their self-respect on camera, and Joe still told him, fuck no. And again, Joe's well within his right, because when you've seen that it could work without them, why the fuck would you cave to them afterwards? Let me see what's going on. Grant was just a check DM. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. All right, yeah. I forgot about this part. He said, where is it?
What's that?
Nobody can stop me. 6ix9ine will do whatever to be famous.
He would put his life.
Did you feel the same way you said in what I'm going to call semantics of you saying, yes, we employ people on this podcast. There is a staff here that relies on this money the same way all of us rely on money from this podcast. When you left Complex, I do know there was people there that were probably not Complex employees. They were, 1099, you getting hired for that specific thing. And I remember Everyday Struggle to be a pretty popular fucking show. Did you feel that same way when you left?
Well, same way.
There's a lot of people that rely on Everyday Struggle right now, outside of myself, that have built their career around this. If I leave here, maybe they'll miss a steady paycheck because it was an everyday show. So I'm sure a lot of people that were gaffers and camera guys or whatever, that was a consistent paycheck. It was like, all right, I can't even take gigs right now because I got to do this shit Monday through Thursday.
I'm glad you asked that. Let me clear up a common
And I wasn't coming to ask you.
misconception.
I'm just curious if you thought
I
that.
would never feel like you're coming at me. Here's the kicker. I never left Complex. I never voluntarily left Complex. I never said, yo, I'm not coming into work at Complex. That's not what happened at all at Complex. I understand that when I come in here, and that's what I'm saying about there being an art to shaking a tree. I come in here and I go on these rants.
Okay, let me pause before Joe finishes his thought. So what Rory tried to bring up in terms of like a retort, he was trying to basically say, hey, I stopped showing up to this podcast, and yeah, it was to prove a point in this and third, and yes, I was in my feelings, blah, blah, blah. And Joe was like, you abandoned the podcast. And because Joe was coming at him like that, he said, well, Joe, when you had your issues, because I think, here's the fucked up thing. They think they're pulling a Joe move by not, like, when they thought they were sitting out, they think they were pulling a Joe move. So they're looking at Joe like, yo, didn't you do the same thing at Complex? Right? Now, let me give and I'll let Joe speak after, but let me give you the Complex story. By the way, half of the reason why I stayed at Complex, half of the reason, y'all heard of the other half with, vote this, that, cool, whatever, but half of the reason were those people I worked with. And by the way, remember I had no really on camera, like really like professional out there industry training. A lot of these guys who are working with my mic man, salute to my man Dre, salute to my camera operator, the director, salute to Greg, like all the people who I still love so dearly, all the social editors we've ever had, salute to all the producers, like salute to all of them. It was an individual opportunity, decision for me to make. When Joe left Everyday Struggle, if I left too, Everyday Struggle would be done. There would be never another episode. And obviously, as I said, there's another 50% of it, but 50% of it was like, yo, these people, they're my team. And it was the biggest lesson I had to learn. I had to step up as a leader. And I used to just chill back and not really say nothing when Joe was around, like, because I was learning the ropes so much. And I just remember when they were basically like, even the execs, they were like, yo, we're giving this shit to you. And I realized I had to take it up on myself, like, yo, you have to be a leader. And in deciding that and seeing how many people did, I had so many good relationships with them. And also I was caring about their jobs and everything. By the way, it's the same thing with Everyday Struggle going off air permanently. When we had that last conversation, me and Complex executives, the first thing I said is, what happens to my staff? What happens? I said, what happens to Roger? He's our producer. What happens to him? He used to salute my man Roger. He used to work at XXL. I said, what happens to him? Like, he left XXL to come work with us. Like, it's not going to rub me the right way. I'm going to be good. It's not going to rub me the right way if you're going to tell him he's fired and whatever. They made a personal promise, which, by the way, I think they did a really good job keeping up with. They said, Roger, we're going to reassign him. He'll still be within the company. These other people, will move them around. We're not going to throw people that used to get paid off of your show into the streets. And I felt that was a good thing by Complex, and I took that news way, way better. You get me? So going back to when Joe left, I think Joe had his own situation with Complex, but I could tell you, for me, what Ruri's saying, that was a decision for me. I think Joe was in a very different situation with Complex that possibly didn't involve those coworkers. But I'll let him speak now.
And you pull from it what you pull from it. But if you pull the wrong shit, then you miss the whole thing altogether. Rory, before that Complex job started, it was a Monday through Thursday thing. And if you paid more, then we could do Fridays. They started pulling tricks with the Friday. I still was showing up Monday through Thursday.
I remember. And
I just wasn't coming in Friday, and then they pulled the shenanigans.
I know. I meant the renew. The re-up on.
But there
on
was
the
no renew because the company decided not to renew my contract because I wasn't playing ball with Fridays, and I was costing them money.
Well, there's a little bit. It's not my place to speak on that, but trust me, I got a complex. I was like, yo, we get this nigga back. Again, their dealings, I'm going to leave it up to them unless I'm brought into it, but okay, whatever. I'm not going to jump in and say anything.
I can never feel like the way you're saying because I'm aware that the show must go on. Even if you created it. Boy, talk about a hard pill to swallow there. The show goes on even if you created it. That is a fact. So when we as men go to bed at night, we got to face with back to that replaceable shit Maul said earlier. Well, we're all replaceable. So now the question is, who you replacing me with? And that's what it was. Hey, you could get rid of me, but in getting rid of me, you better know that you got a seat to fill. And they tried it. They brought in Star, the most controversial, the father of niggas. That's it. Acting Star. I'm sure the suit said smash. What happens is not smash. Oh, bring somebody else in. But that's not because I was like, fuck y'all, suck my dick, I want to ruin the show. I thought that was the best thing ever created.
Oh, no.
The suits handled it wrong. That's where a lot of my past resentment towards y'all come from.
Let me translate what Joe is saying here, too. Joe is saying here, let me show y'all another reason why if y'all thought what y'all did is the same and you're going to liken it to what I did at Complex. First of all, and he said some business stuff. Again, I have no comment about that unless my name is brought up. I have no comment. Then he said, secondly, everybody could be replaced, but I'm down to take the bet that I wasn't going to be replaced as easily by Complex. He's basically telling these niggas, y'all were replaced. Y'all ain't me. When Joe left, yes, stuff looked different. When y'all left, okay, the core was upset, but the show continued. If you're not Joe, you can't just dip. That's what I keep saying. You have to be that talented to be pulling certain moves. I don't agree with about 89% of what Joe does when he negotiates or gets in a contract with any company, especially of recently. But unless you're Joe Budden level talent, unless you're Joe Budden himself, you can't do certain shit. It ain't fair. This is a merit game. You got to be able to have the talent or have walked the walk that you could be in certain positions. That's how it is.
Because I have 20 years of seeing how the suits treat us, and I don't do y'all like that. And if y'all don't know that, and if y'all don't feel that, and if y'all don't see that, and if y'all don't trust and believe that, then yeah, we got a lot more problems than you inviting me to your hands every week. That's the least of the issues.
Okay, so I don't want to accuse you of dancing.
Give it to me.
But from my understanding, from what I believe is recorded and on this podcast and was a big deal, yes, you did leave Complex because you felt the business dealings there when I believe it was a Spotify deal.
By the way, if this is Rory basically telling you that he attempted the same thing Joe did by not showing up to the podcast. He's basically saying, wait, why when I did it to you it's wrong, but when you did it to Complex it's right? So hear what he said. When you left Complex, it's because the business dealing wasn't right. Why would he say that unless he's basically hinting that I left that the business dealings wasn't right? Again, I'm just only pointing out very obvious facts.
Maybe a Nike deal or something where you wanted to have...
On Fridays.
Yeah, you wanted to have some type of revenue within each ad play.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So there was a problem within the business.
No, but wait, wait. Let me add something to you. Let me add something to you just so you know, back to the art of shaking the tree.
And I wasn't there.
I'm giving this to you.
I'm not saying what happened.
And you could keep this
just
going.
From what I remember you telling me.
No, it's much deeper than that.
Okay.
I thought that they were getting money that they would not be able to get without me.
This is a great conversation. Joe is talking over this guy's head. This guy is saying, Joe, I did the same thing you did at Complex. Joe keeps telling him, what I did is because I knew I was the nigga. Remember that. Remember that. That's all he's telling that nigga Ruri. I did that shit because I knew I was the guy. I knew if I stopped doing that, they can't get that money without me. That's what Joe's telling him. Nigga, Joe, me and Joe talked. Like, without saying too much, like, I don't want to say too much. But Joe he put in a bet that he called, me and Joe used to have all these conversations. Joe called me and said, Ack. As I said, the day that Joe found out that's what Spotify paid Complex, and then he knew what he got, and I told him what I got, Joe said to me, Ack, it was a huge deal. He says, Ack, Spotify doesn't give Complex this money if it's not Akademiks and Joe. It's not because of Complex. It's Ak and Joe. They want us on a Friday, but it has to be me and you. And he said, Ak, these niggas ain't about to play us with that. They're getting this and we getting this. He said, you know what? We're not contractually obligated to do that. They came approaching us like, hey, we're doing a show Monday to Thursday. Hey, could y'all do Friday? And he was down to do Friday. But when he found that out, it was like, nah, I changed my mind. But now you're not playing ball. And me and Joe was like, yo, Ack, don't, like, hey, if you don't do it, they're fucked. Now I'm going to be honest, and you could think of me whatever, but I looked at it, whatever, and I this whole shake the tree shit, I was like, before I really, like, when niggas offer a contract, right? When you sign it, you think you that is some indication that you think you have gotten paid for what your worth is. If your worth happens to be greater, I believe you wait till the next contract renegotiation and you tax these motherfuckers. So I was waiting for that. I ended up doing it. I believe, and I think really how the story goes is like Complex had to amend their deal with Spotify because Joe was right. The deal that they signed for that big lump sum of money said Joe Budden had to be on screen with Akademiks. So when it's only Akademiks and there's no Joe Budden, that original deal is null and void. They had to almost come up with an alternative deal that says Akademiks and another celebrity guest. And again, that's clearly different than what Everyday Struggle was, Ak and Joe. That's one of the times, I could be honest, that Joe bet on himself. And truth be told, he was right. Now let me ask y'all. Do you think that, let's say Joe made nice for Spotify. Do you think that Spotify would give him less money if he had replaced Mealy Mall and Ruri with the two new guys? Or would they give him the same amount? If I'm a betting man, I'm going to say the same amount. That's why Joe is talking to Ruri like that. He's saying, you can't use a Complex situation to mirror your own. When I left, Complex couldn't get the same for their shit because I was the nigga. You're not the nigga here. I could get the same amount for this podcast with you here or not here. Bingo. Ruri doesn't get that. He's still trying to liken it to the Complex situation.
That's what happened. I thought that they were procuring deals that were solely predicated on my presence. And I had to go do a lot of snooping around, barging in offices.
Again, with information. He found out how much the deal was. Talked to enough people to be like, wait, have they ever done deals like this before with y'all? No? I wonder why they're doing this deal now. Oh, they like the interaction of you and Ak. Oh, shit, they like Ak's platform. They like what you've been doing with your podcast and other things and you media personality. They want both of y'all with the Spotify logo over it. You got to give him that. Smarts. These niggas think that their worth to the Joe Budden podcast is equivalent to Joe Budden's worth to Everyday Struggle in 2017.
Talking to people I wasn't supposed to talk to, just snoop. You know the fucking game. To get the information and decide.
Let me just tell you this. The reason why I've gotten everything I've gotten, materialistic wise, money wise, this and third, is not being delusional. It's not being delusional. This whole concept I see people running with on Twitter, and I blame Joe a little bit for this. Know your worth, know your worth. Everybody think they're worth $1 billion. How do you properly gauge your worth? The highest offer is your worth. Or you could not take it, but it's still your worth. Nobody's offering more. Remember that.
All right. You know what? All my chips into the table. All my chips into the table. I'm moving. And by the grace of God, at Complex at least, I was right. I was right. They put somebody else in the seat.
I'm only going to stop Joe before he says this, because one part he's admitting is that Everyday Struggle would have been on for 20 plus years. And by the way, this problem happened even while Joe was there. Joe knew. We kept getting information from Complex to say their sales team was having a problem selling a hip-hop show that was unscripted, that was basically off people's opinions, that involved cursing and very cultural conversations. They could get $5 million for a sneaker episode, for a hype beast episode, for something that seemed a little cleaner, but two black men arguing about hip-hop, cursing, talking like they were in the barbershop. And even then, we even said we could stop cursing or we'll get our editor to fucking edit out all the curses. The sales team was unable to secure a lot of ads that could complement the content. That's why when me and Joe, even though we're averaging 500,000 plus views per daily episode, we had 0 ads. The sales team, for whatever reason, was unable to do that. That's one of the things me and Joe talked about in length. That's one of the things he did not mention. That problem didn't only exist with Joe there. When Star came there, when Wayno came there, it was very difficult to get in on sponsorships. Think about it. Every day on the sticks that's coming back. I'm headed to Complex next week, so you'll see me up there. I'm headed to Complex next week. I'm gonna be filming on the sticks, and they love that show. Oh, great! It's a video game show. Like, hey, it's not gonna be too wild, you know. Like, shit. Even we do edits, but we send it to the advertiser that they could look at to make sure it's okay. I obviously operate certain ways to make sure the person who's paying a lot of money is not fucking, you know what I mean? It's not Twitch. I get it. But again, when it came to Everyday Struggle, they had a problem with that. They had a problem with trying to get all that going. I'll let Joe continue.
The money disappeared. No, we're not paying for that. That is not what we purchased. I was home saying, hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, score 1 for the good guys. The suits did the wrong thing. They tried to just make a move based on the money, ignoring niggas' feelings, and you lost the money. That's what happened at Complex. Spotify. I was unhappy a year and a half before the contract. In year one, I was unhappy. In year one, they came back, shot niggas some crack, said, hey, take it. We said no, they got funny. I had another year and a half to go. And y'all, in conjunction with, had another year and a half to go. I finished it. And at the end of it, when we had, hey, y'all know I was doing a countdown. It's probably 20 podcasts left at around 14, maybe 11. I'm going to get to it. Right? Y'all remember? We was there, right?
Yeah.
At the end, after I had carefully weighed 20 million things, one of them being what the fans always go to, well, if you treat one of your employers like that and you get out there and do one of your rants, then you're ruining your business. Running with this Charlemagne fucking fuckity fuck shit. It could never be more wrong. Every time I come in here to do it, as I explained to Rory, and this is not arrogance or ego, it's just how much thought is involved when I'm shaking the fucking tree. Every time I come in here to do it, go on one of them rants about one of these fuck-ass companies that's fucking black people, that's fucking white people, don't care about the creators. Hey, I went inside, I peeked behind the curtains. This what's going on, y'all. I put my reputation at risk. I put my relationships at risk. I put my business at risk, my ability to feed my children at risk. I put future endeavors at risk. This ain't just for the fucking living room managers in the YouTube comments, fam. My life is dedicated to this. It is carefully vetted and sourced. Fuck Spotify. I say it now. Know why? Because I already spent the millions of hours it takes. Hold up now. And looking at the thousands of variables that could exist in me saying, hey, wait a minute. What if I say fuck Spotify?
Wait, hold on now. We might cut this off. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm gonna cut this off real quick. Anyway, listen, man. Spotify is a great place. That's all I know. All right. Let's get past this.
Go. I don't take it for granted. I don't take it for granted. I'm not saying that y'all do.
Please don't.
I'm not saying that y'all do.
But that's how important.
But there is a lot that goes into shaking a tree. It is a talent. It is a gift. There is an art to it.
And it's a gamble.
And
It's a gamble.
there is risk involved in it.
Gamble.
No?
Of course. And
No? More?
Absolutely.
And to the point of how important this show is to me and why it's important to the fans, and I have immense gratitude for the fans. Matter of fact, most of the conversations Mo and I did have the entire time were, man, we got to address it for the people that like actually fuck with us.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Ruri, you're a fucking bum. All right.
I'm with you on that one, 100%.
He makes the game fun, man. He makes it fun.
Hey, bro, I'm 100% with you, man. And I think the podcast game is better when, podcasts are all together. You know what I mean?
Or back together.
Don't you think the podcast game is better when the podcasts are all back together?
Sure.
Yeah.
Isn't it better when everybody knows their role and they know how to shut their mouth now and do what they're told?
Facts! Yo, Schultz gets it. When the workers show up, it's all good.
But how do you come back? You got to come back a certain way, though.
Isn't that better when you do what you're told?
I don't know what y'all talking about. I don't know what y'all talking about. I feel like
Oh, my bad. Hold on.
He won't let me.
Exactly. And Jesus
But how do you come back? You got to come back a certain way, though.
Isn't that better when you do what you're told?
I don't know what y'all talking about. I don't know what y'all talking about. I feel like hey, Schultz, I feel like you subbing somebody, but I'm not sure who
Grab
it is.
that Draco again. Grab the Draco.
Oh, hold on, bro. Drake, I'm talking about Caller Daddy. Caller Daddy's coming back.
Whoa!
You didn't know
big.
Call.
That's big.
I think they call it Call Him Daddy. I think they switched to Joe Budden.
Oh, shit. I ain't gonna lie. Joe did verbally check both of them niggas. Like, y'all had to come back. It's the first of the month. It's coming up. Y'all got bills to pay. What you finna do? That's Leaf back there, by the way. You don't Leaf cooling. What you finna do? I might have a little bit more time with y'all because I had a studio session. Lil AK was about to, I had some bars to drop. Yo, YK, if you're here, bro, like we might have to cancel the studio. No, well, studio's canceled, but I might link with you later. We had a studio session. I was about to drop some bars. But, hey, let's keep it honest. Andrew Schultz, he has a very, very popular podcast, Flagrant 2. It's on Patreon. By the way, I'm going to show you this shit. Look at this shit right here. Flagrant 2 Patreon. Wait, no. Flagrant 2 Patreon. That boy, Andrew Schultz, getting a lot of money from this podcast and shit. Look at this. He has 21,000 people, 246, that are patrons of his podcast. He makes $100,000 just off of them subscribing. He does a private podcast that's only for Patreon. And 21,000 people are on this shit, and he gets $100,000 a month from it. That's $1.2 million a year. That's additional to any YouTube stuff he gets, any deals, sponsorships, advertisements. It's pretty safe for me to say that his podcast makes at least $3 to $4 million a year. After he pays the producers, this and third, he's doing good. I don't know if this was shots to Joe. I can tell you where my leads. I love Andrew Schultz. I think his podcast is amazing. I think he's hilarious. But I'm not here. I don't be throwing shots at Joe. I don't like people who throw shots at Joe. And I will not tolerate shots thrown at Joe. But I'm always here for the slander of the Stooges, okay? So I don't know if he was talking about... There was a time that he criticized Joe and Joe talking about Spotify, and Joe pretty much told him to shut the fuck up. And he's been on Patreon, and now Joe's on Patreon as well. So, I don't know. Anyway, let's go back to what they're saying.
Podcast to call him daddy.
That's
and
big.
I think that's the new name for the Joe Budden.
Did y'all think that basically that podcast was the Stooges calling Joe daddy? They apologized to him. He never told them sorry. They apologized for going on strike, and he said to them, what the fuck y'all, what the fuck do I owe y'all? He basically violated them.
I guess call him daddy.
That's big.
Yeah.
Draco.
See, Schultz can't help it.
Yeah.
I can't help myself, bro.
Schultz wants you to see his face. I want you to know. Schultz will do it without a mask. You hear me?
Yeah. Run right up on you.
Schultz will run up on you in broad daylight and tell him I said, what was that movie? He was like, tell him it was me.
Yeah.
What was that movie? What movie was it? He was like, I want you to know it was me.
Yeah.
What movie was that?
The Honeymooners.
No, you're talking about. I already know it's on Game of Thrones. That's what she did.
What's Game of
The
Thrones?
girl did it.
Oh, yeah.
She was like,
Yeah.
The grandma in Game of
the
Thrones.
grandma did it. Yeah.
He's like, I want you to know it was me.
Yeah, that's how I feel, bro. I do feel that way.
I know you do.
Listen, we are very excited to see the Call Him Daddy podcast is united again. You know
This is great. Congratulations.
We got the brothers are back together, or the father and the sons are back together, and they've no longer stopped beefing.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I got to get caught up. Honestly,
I didn't even know that they were back together until Lil Latinx told me that they were during the podcast.
So that shit is gonna stick now.
What, Lil Latinx? You asked for this.
That's you, bro.
You asked for this. Draco Soldier, bro.
Listen, and your first name ends in an X. You are Little Latinx from now on, brother.
Shit. Wait, how your first name ends?
By the way, let me make a prediction. These Stooges are back, and they're going to try to make it work. But I'm going to tell you right now, it'll never be the same. There's a permanent stain of these dudes being embarrassed, being belittled, being sunned, being exposed. Hold up. Sorry. As the bums they are. It'll never be the same. For their own sake, they need to keep this together. And I hope they do. Because I could imagine how stressed Joe is when he got to find replacements last minute and stuff like that. But these dudes think at some point they'll be seen like how Joe is seen for that podcast. They'll never be. They'll be seen as the butt of the joke. They'll be seen as the sons, as Andrew Schultz said. They'll be seen as the stooges. And it's going to manifest because when they love to talk about other people's business, but it's going to look ridiculous when these two bums chime in on other people's business when their business isn't disarray.
X, yeah, Little Latin
That's right.
X, bro.
Alex is Little Latin X from now on. I've never seen a man look more Miami than you, Alex. Like, I don't know if you Cuban. I don't know what you are. I don't know if you Cuban, Puerto Rican. I don't know what you are. I just know you in Miami. You are a dark-skinned man in Miami, bro.
Miami definitely changed you.
Yes,
man.
it
Fuck
did.
that. I'm putting it on Schultz. Schultz out here riding around in a fucking G-Wagon. So
Hey,
nah.
bro. Hey, bro. This is what
Shots
happens
fired.
when you a partner of the podcast. Yes.
Chat. Let me tell you this. You see why it's good to be independent? I be telling everybody, I live like a rapper. I'm happy. I got all type of shit like you would never believe. The workers, every worker never likes me. I'm gonna tell you, they never like me. Like Rosenberg, he didn't like me because he was a worker. Like that nigga was mad as fuck. He was like, you think I care about the fact that you're like super? I'm like, I didn't even say that. Like, why you think that these dudes are a little bit insecure? You get me? And by the way, Schultz is probably doing great. He's independent, making a lot of money. You know, he used Brilliant Idiots and like, you know, being the person that was against or next to Charlemagne to piggyback and create his own thing with his he's a comedic genius if you ask me. He's really funny. Yeah, that nigga's fucking winning now. You get me? Everything I got, Schultz probably got. You know who don't got shit? Rory. Think about it. It's Rory. You don't got shit. Sucking all that dick, you ain't got nothing to show for it except a fucking sore throat and a fucked up tonsils. Ain't that a shame?
Everybody eats.
Everybody eats.
Everybody eats, damn it. Everybody eats.
Draco.
Right.
Yo, Charlemagne just bought a new house. Big as fuck. I hit him with a congrats, man. I say, yo, Char, yo, I knew you was living good already, but yo, you bought even a bigger mansion? That nigga was, I heard on one of their podcasts, he was thinking about the joint with the elevator. Char living good. Andrew Schultz got the G-Wagon. He flexing. He doing the most. Like, y'all know how I'm moving out here. What is Mealy Mall and Ruri doing? Bitching about knowing what's going on with the business. Who do y'all listen to? If you don't like me, go listen to Andrew Schultz. If he tells you some business shit, believe him. He's living it. Ruri and Mealy Mall, they just came off a strike.
Soldier. You know what I'm saying?
So you got to pull Schultz back. Schultz is really Bishop. All he wanted to do was rob the store. I wanted to rob the store. I didn't want to kill nobody. Why you shoot the guy, Schultz?
I am that guy in the movie, like when they go do the robbery and everybody promises there was going to be no people killed, and I get too hyped, and I just shoot the motherfucker. And then
You Bishop.
Yeah.
You Bishop and Jew. Oh, man. Did you watch the Oscar Schultz?
The only thing that saved the Oscars for me this year was Van's victory. That was so fucking, like, shouts to Van.
That might be it. That might be it on that. But anyway, chat. Job well done, man. Job well done. Hey, I'm glad those bums are back to work. I'll leave them alone for now. For anyone who thought Ak was wrong, Ak was whatever, you could like me or not. But let me tell you this. one thing I will not tolerate in this industry is that I don't play ball. I don't really fuck with none of these niggas. But one thing you can't say is Ak came up from the mud. No one liked him. No one gave him an opportunity. He did it on his own. Him and the chat niggas, they brought him to the highest of heights when it comes to media and entertainment. And I want to be the living testament that as long as you play and you play in the avenue that you fuck with your audience, you'll always win. Sucking dick don't get you nothing but a sore throat and fucked up tonsils. That's all I want to say. And again, yeah, you're right. I got a little bit of extra chip on my shoulder because a bum ass nigga gonna pull up to the crib and do some weird shit. So I'm gonna be on his neck a little bit more. But I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I'm here to be the living proof of what y'all have seen has worked, and I want y'all to I want to showcase what has not. When you see them talk about niggas like me or other people, always remember this moment. Because me, I don't really care about usually other people's deals. But when they start scrutinizing my shit, I have to speak up. Anyway, I'm gonna move on from this. Chat, I've been arguing with women all week.